Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Ohio Association for College Admissions Counseling Virtual College Fair. And thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are both off, so panelists cannot see nor hear you. This is just one of many different sessions being offered, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions. And lastly, but not least, this presentation is being recorded, so it will be available within a week at stripescan.com/Ohio. And with that being said, I'd love to turn it over to our first presenter. So if our panelists from Western Michigan University can please join me.
All right, I will go ahead and share my screen. All right. So welcome everybody. My name is Susan Pendleton. I'm an admissions counselor for Western. I specifically make all admissions decisions for students from Oakland County, Livingston within the state of Michigan, and then the whole state of Ohio. So know that when you apply to Western, I'm the person who sees your application, reviews it, and ultimately gives you that admission decision. So it's so nice to meet with you guys. This is going to be very brief, very general. We'll go over some points of pride about Western, application process, some scholarships, and just some regular things that you would need to know as you start that college search process. Let's go ahead and get started. So like with every great story, I like to start off with a year. That year for you is 1903. And so Western was founded back in 1903 and specifically as a teacher's college. So we had one academic college that offered a variety of programs that all taught students how to become teachers. Now fast forward to the present day, we have 7 different academic colleges with over 150 programs to choose from. And that's just at the undergraduate level. So chances are, if you're already interested or passionate about something, we have a program for you. And chances are we are also nationally acclaimed for that program, which is always fun to share. Now we do have roughly 21,000 students. About 17,000 would be your peers. Those are the undergrads, and the rest are at the graduate student level. I can tell you a lot of students on a regular basis say, Susan, oh my gosh, 21,000 seems like an overwhelming number. I assure you it's not an overwhelming number. When you think of a large university in the state of Michigan, Michigan State is typically what we would consider a large university. They have roughly 55,000 students. A small college, on the other hand, right here in Kalamazoo, we have a neighbor. It's a small private liberal arts college called Kalamazoo College, and they have roughly 1,500 students. So 1,500 on one end, 55,000 on the other. Where the heck is Western? Well, we're smack dab in the middle. So we're actually considered a mid-sized institution. Being that mid-sized though, we're that nice little sweet spot because we have the best of both worlds. We have the large university attitude, pride, Division I sports, top tier research institution, any amenity that you would find at a large university, you're going to find it right here at Western. However, on the flip side, we feel like a small college at the exact same time. And you really see that in our class sizes. So student to faculty ratio is 16:1. On average, your class sizes are about 32 students or less. And you're going to notice that as you progress in your program, the class sizes get smaller and smaller, which I think is the ideal scenario. Now, in terms of applying to Western, a few different things that I look for so I can give you an admission decision. First is you have to apply. You can apply using our institution's application, which is Gold Gateway, or you can apply using Common App. We are Common App friendly. The tip and the trick here is to apply early, preferably by early action, so you can be considered for our merit-based scholarships once you do apply. Now, official transcripts, that's the second piece that we need. If you're on a 4-point scale, we look at your weighted GPA as opposed to your unweighted GPA. If you're not on a 4-point scale, then we recalculate it to a 4-point scale. We're totally test optional this year, and we're going to continue to be test optional next year. So if you want to send us your test scores, feel free to do so. You are not obligated to do so though. Know that if you send us your test scores, they can only help you in terms of admission. They cannot hurt you. So if it doesn't look like it helps you, we don't even look at it. It is $40 to apply to Western unless you have a fee waiver. Now, in terms of cost of attendance, you'll pay attention to this non-Michigan resident side of the screen. There's only about a $3,000 difference between our in-state and out-of-state tuition, which is pretty exciting. And that $16,000 tuition dollar amount used to be around $27,000 3 years ago. So we drastically cut it, trying to make it more affordable for all students to choose Western, regardless of where they come from. So I'm happy to share that with you. Now we have this little asterisk by here because tuition has not gone up since last year, and it's going to continue to not go up for the next year. We understand there's this thing in society called COVID-19, and a lot of families are hurting financially. So we didn't want to add to the economic burden that our families are facing by increasing tuition, as simple as that. Now, we are the most affordable, highly ranked university in the state of Michigan, and that's 4 years running. We are so proud of that, and we would not be as diverse of an institution as we are if we didn't do everything we can to make tuition affordable and education as attainable for as many students as possible. To offset these costs, we want to make sure you're looking at scholarships though. So once you apply, preferably by early action, this year it was December 15th, next year it's going to be around that time. If you want to be considered for any merit-based scholarships, you have to apply by then. Even if you apply one day late, you won't be considered for these scholarships. So have this on your radar, mark around late November, early December to figure out when our early action is and make sure you get your things in by then. You'll see that our most prestigious scholarship is our Medallion Scholarship. That's $64,000. It's a very competitive scholarship, and it really consists of a holistic review of our students' profiles. So give us more than we ask for when you apply. If you have a resume, if you have letters of recommendation, things that really showcase you as a student, the more information we have, the more we can holistically review you. And these bottom 4 scholarships, these are guaranteed scholarships. So if you apply and you have a qualifying GPA, you'll get the highest scholarship value that your GPA qualified you for. So fun things to have on your radar. Know that we have Scholarship Universe, which houses additional scholarships. So once you're admitted, you'll get emails that say, hey, log into Scholarship Universe and apply for as many scholarships as physically possible. Now, this was very quick, and I understand that, but for time's sake, I am going to pass it over to the next person to present, but I will drop a link in our chat that has additional information just about the university. So thanks for having me.
Thanks so much, Susan. And again, folks, that was Western Michigan University. Next up, our panelist is from College for Creative Studies.
Good evening. My name is Patty Spencer. I'm going to share my screen real quick. I'm with the College for Creative Studies, which is in Detroit, Michigan. Go full screen so you can see everything here. We're going to take a look at this real quick and give you guys some ideas about what we do at CCS in our quick 6 minutes here. First and foremost, like I mentioned, we are located in Detroit. The school's actually been around for a long time, over 100 years. It was founded in 1906. And the city itself is actually really, especially the downtown and midtown areas, have really undergone amazing transformation in the last few years. We're known as the Motor City, but it's also home to Detroit Institute of Arts, Eastern Market, which is a huge outdoor farmers market, murals in the market, a public transportation light rail system, so there's really a lot of things that are happening in the city, which is pretty cool. There's a few things that set CCS apart. These are some great shots of our campus. We're located in Midtown Detroit. We are a private nonprofit or university. We offer 11 different majors and a certification in art education. There are 2 campuses, or 1 campus, 2 sites. We have housing in both locations. Size-wise, we're just over 1,400 students this year. We have a really diverse student body, which is great, and a small class size. Our faculty-student ratio is 9:1, and class sizes do not exceed about 20, 21 students. There's no large lectures or anything like that at CCS. These are the majors that we offer. You also see some concentrations underneath those, like craft and material studies includes ceramics, fibers, furniture, glass, metal, smithing. And then, like I said, we also have a teacher certification program. One of the other things you can do is you can minor in any of these areas. So if you have multiple areas of interest, you're able to, combine those. And then we also have a few minors in other things like art history and things like that. So it really gives you an opportunity to kind of explore some different areas that you might be interested in. We're really proud of some of the awards that our school has won. We've actually been named one of the top 3 design schools in the US by LinkedIn, which I thought was kind of cool. And we've had over 400 companies on our campus in the last few years just to interview and recruit students. So it's really an amazing opportunity. When we're looking around at colleges, and trying to figure out where you want to go. Don't just look at what they have to offer, but also look at what they are doing afterward. Are they getting the kind of jobs that you're hoping to get? You know, are they working for the types of companies that you're hoping to work for? So these are just a few examples of different companies that our students have gone on to work for in the past. So again, if you have a favorite, if there's a dream job out there, you know, make sure you check it out. We have a great summer program, and if you guys that are juniors or younger that are watching tonight might want to check this out. We offer in a multitude of different areas. It'll be a little different this summer. It is still going to be online, but that gives you some great opportunities as well. And then very, very quickly, our application process is very simple. It's a free online application. We want to see your transcripts from high school. The minimum GPA for admission is a 2.5. And we need a portfolio. And the portfolio is actually pretty simple. We want to see 8 to 12 pieces of your best work. There may be some things specifically required based on the major that you're applying to. You can check that out on our website. There are a couple of deadline dates on here. December 1st is the big one. That's our early action deadline. If you get your application into us by December 1st of your senior year, you will be automatically eligible for the most amount of scholarship possible. I think it's covered up by the images here, but the average scholarship last year was just over $20,000. So yes, we look expensive on paper because we are a private school, but do not let that scare you, especially at the beginning of your college search. There are private schools out there that might look scary because they might look really expensive, but based on scholarship, financial aid, they might be a lot more affordable than you realize. Just to kind of wrap it up real quick, there is lots of opportunity for more information. You're welcome to scan this QR code. And to get more information, I will also put it in the chat for you at the end. But I would say anyone watching tonight, if you are a creative thinker, you know, if you have an interest in the visual arts, whether it's traditional drawing, painting, design, sculpture, or something like transportation design or product design, you know, film, photography, those are all amazing opportunities at a school like CCS. So definitely take a look at it, look at the work that's being produced, and also check out what we're able to offer students. Please feel free to reach out to me tonight in the chat if you have any questions. And then I'm happy to answer them. And like I said, if you get a second to scan the QR code, that'd be great. And I will also put some links in the chat as well. So I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. I hope to hear from some of you in the chat.
Thank you so much, Patty. Again, folks, that was College for Creative Studies. And I do want to reiterate something that she mentioned. If you guys have questions throughout this presentation, I highly encourage y'all to use the Q&A feature. And with that being said, I'll turn it over to Michigan Tech University.
Hi there, everyone. I'm just getting my screen shared. My name is Lauren Flanagan. I'm the Regional Admissions Manager with Michigan Tech, and I'm so excited that you're here to learn more about college in general. So about Michigan Tech, we are a four-year public university in the beautiful state of Michigan. Hopefully you can see my map here, but you can see where Ohio is, and then you can see, I don't know if you can see my mouse, but the yellow dot way at the top of Michigan in the Upper Peninsula, that's where Michigan Tech is. You can see photo behind me is a great shot of campus at sunset. So we are a little bit on the smaller side when it comes to colleges. We have just under 7,000 students, about 5,600 of which are undergrad students. So that means your classes stay small. You do get to know your professors really well. It's the kind of environment where you really are going to get to know your fellow students and professors and be able to learn well that way. A lot of people know Michigan Tech as an engineering school. We absolutely have a lot to offer in engineering. It's our largest area, but we do have lots of other things. We have over 120 areas of study. The common thread with all of them is that our students get to learn by doing, whether that's working in our world-class unit operations lab that you see there on the right, that's our chemical engineering lab, or it's Formula SAE racing, or it's going out on our research boat into Lake Superior. Our students learn by doing. And so there's a reason why So many companies come to recruit our students for internships, co-ops, jobs after graduation. Our students are very successful in the job market. Right now, our students graduating are expecting an average starting salary of, well, actually, this is a little outdated. I need to update this, but just over $66,000 per year, which is really good money when you're just starting out on your own. It also means that if you do take out student loans or have any of those burdens, that you're able to pay them back with usually no problem. We have a 98% job placement rate in the field of study too. So the outcomes are there because you've learned all the things you need to know by doing the things you need to know. Our students also have a ton of fun. I mentioned we're in the Upper Peninsula. We get a lot of snow. Winter is part of who we are as a university and as a region. We have our own ski hill, so Mount Ripley is free for you to use as a student. We have an excellent athletics program. You can go watch hockey games, you can listen to our pep band, or you can just hang out in your dorm. That's part of the fun of college, is just making those connections and building those relationships. Here's some other amazing things. So our favorite annual event is Winter Carnival. That's that nighttime shot you see on the screen. Winter Carnival is our celebration of all things winter. If we're gonna get 200 inches of snow a year, we might as well build some stuff with it and do some dog sled racing and just have a ton of fun. So our students really love that. Parade of Nations is another one of our favorite annual traditions. We have an incredibly diverse campus. Many of our students come from outside of the United States, and so we really like to celebrate that with our Parade of Nations every year. Quick blurb about our application process. This is stressful for you. College applications, essays, all of that. We know it gets overwhelming. It also gets very expensive. We try to be as straightforward and simple as possible. It's always free to apply to Michigan Tech. We have our own online application. We don't have essays for the vast majority of our majors. Some we do, but we'll let you know, and they're not that difficult. And you can apply anytime after June 15th after your junior year ends. So rolling admission, whenever you apply and send us your transcript, you hear back from us within 2 to 3 weeks, and then you're automatically considered for our merit-based scholarships ranging from $10,000 to $16,000 per year. There is a ton more to know about us, about our process. I invite you to ask more questions after this. This is my contact information. Again, my name is Lauren. I am the dedicated person for the entire state of Ohio. So if you have questions about tech, I'm your girl. Come to me, and I'm always, always happy to help out. But this is a really exciting time. It's also nerve-wracking. I really want to make this process as simple and stress-free as possible for you. So please know I'm always here and always available. And thanks for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Lauren. Again, folks, that was Michigan Tech University. Next up, we have Albion College.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to this wonderful panel hosted by OACAC once again. My name is Dana Smith, and I am one of our representatives from Albion College in Michigan. We've got a great theme going here with our Michigan schools, so happy to continue that trend. We are located just about 3 to 5 hours from any place in Ohio where you can come from, depending on where you're located at in the state. I'm a very proud Ohio native who's relocated to Michigan, so always happy to talk about transitioning up here and also making the drive up here as well. So to start, I always like to talk about the community here at Albion. You're going to see a lot of numbers in your college search, so I always like to talk about the numbers behind them. Similar to a lot of schools on this panel, we are a pretty small institution. So about 1,500 students, small class sizes, small faculty to student ratio. So if that's something that you really value in an education, you have lots of options on this panel and some of the other ones that OACAC is offering in this session. So really encourage you to think about what you value and kind of the places where you thrive in a college setting. Like I said, though, I like to talk about the stories behind them. So kind of the benefits to going to a smaller school are that you really get to know everyone who's invested in developing you as a human being. So it's not only the classmates that you're taking courses with, but it's also the people in your residence hall. It's staff members who are helping you make this decision. It's faculty members, the people in the dining hall. They all get to make up this really wonderful experience that you have at an institution like Albion. And those relationships are even closer because we're such a tight-knit community. So again, if that's something you value, this could be a really great fit for you. And then of course, we always like to brag about the great statistics about our school. So the two that we put on here that we're really proud of are this 4-year graduation rate. So 98.5% of our students are graduating within 4 years, which obviously we know is very important for students and families. And then within 6 months of graduation, 97% of our students are employed in graduate school or doing some kind of service. So they have their next step set. And obviously that's also really important because you're having a great experience here, but we're also setting you up to thrive in the real world and get to where you want to go. And we are an entirely undergraduate institution. So this is all students who this is their first experience in college, or they're coming from an associate's degree to get their bachelor's degree. So it is a 4-year institution focused on those bachelor's degree seeking students. So talking a little bit about admission, I know we have a lot of juniors who have been hopping on this call who are starting to think about college applications. Albion is a liberal arts institution. So what that means is that we really value the holistic college experience. So not only the courses that you're taking, but learning outside of the classroom, taking courses that are not just in your major, but that are really going to expand your horizons and teach you how to be a critical thinker, creative problem solver, be really flexible, both in the classroom and in the real world. So we like to start that from the moment that you enter our admissions funnel. So we look at you as a whole student when we're looking at your application. So not just that GPA, which is of course very important, but we're looking at the other parts of your academic history. What does your grade trend look like? What connections do you have on campus? What have you done extracurricularly? What are you excited about? What does your essay look like? So we love to look at those very multidimensionally. We are on rolling admission. And so that means that we're reviewing applications as they come in. So there's no formal deadline, but for our juniors on the call who will be seniors, the application for Albion typically opens on September 1st, and then they're reviewed as they come in. And then we will be test optional for this upcoming fall. So if you send us your test score, we will look at it, but it will only be factored into your financial aid if it's going to help you. So there's no way that sending that in can harm you, but we will kind of use that on an optional basis. Looking a little bit at academics, you can see there's a lot of words on this slide. There is such a great selection of offerings on this whole panel with so many different academic paths that you can take. So really doing a deep dive of what makes each program unique at these schools is something that I would definitely suggest you guys do. These are not all of our majors. These are just kind of our overarching academic departments. So if you don't see your major, don't worry. Odds are we probably have it. It just might be embedded in one of these departments. And if for any reason we don't, then we also have an individually designed major option where you get to collaborate with a lot of different departments to make that happen. You can see some of our most popular majors listed here. But then kind of the thing that Albion is known for is our pre-professional programs. And we really pride ourselves in particular on our pre-healthcare program. So it's a whole kind of subset of an academic program here dedicated just for our healthcare students with healthcare specific courses. And we also have that for business, for sustainability, and then for education, and then for political science, pre-law, public policy. So those are some of the programs that we really pride ourselves on. Of course, being a smaller campus, we want to make sure that students are feeling really engaged and really active. Like I said, we really value that outside of the classroom learning. We have over 100 clubs and organizations that range from your typical identity-based groups or student government to things like Brits Who Knit and a squirrel watching society. So there's a lot of really fun stuff here to get involved in, and our students tend to be pretty involved. So it's definitely a campus to come if you get really passionate about a lot of different things and are excited to keep busy and really form a lot of those relationships. And then we have Greek life. So about 30% of our students are involved with Greek life. And then we also have athletics. Real quick, you can see affordability here. I'm running out of time. And so if anyone has specific questions about their financial aid, I'm always happy to talk about that in more detail. You're automatically considered those when you apply to Albion. And then I've got my contact information right there, and I'll shoot it in the chat as well. And I'm happy to answer any other questions that you guys have. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Next up, we have Lawrence Tech University.
Hi, thank you so much. Share the screen. Start from the beginning. So hello, everyone. I am Sean McNiff. I'm an admissions counselor here at Lawrence Technological University, and you can see my contact information located below. So just to get started, Lawrence Tech was originally founded in 1932 as Lawrence Institute of Technology by George and Russell Lawrence. We are actually located in the building adjacent to the Model T assembly plant. You can actually see it circled right there, and it was leased from Henry Ford. We are located in Southfield, Michigan, so that's the Metro Detroit area. In terms of theory and practice, that's what we have here at Lawrence Tech. It's a lot of hands-on work. Ways that you can kind of get involved in that, things like senior projects, quest projects, and team projects. We have something called our Blue Devil Motorsports, where you get to build, race, and design these motorized vehicles. So that kind of showcases a little bit of that hands-on approach that you can take. Additionally, we have various labs and studios available with real-world application and undergraduate research as well. Moving on to Lawrence Tech by the numbers, we have about 3,000 total students on campus, 2,000 of which are undergraduate, and then 1,000 of which are graduate students. We have 43 states as well as 48 countries represented, and an alumni network of 30,000 plus as well. So what this kind of shows is that we reach a global market. Moving on to the learning environment, students are going to be admitted directly into their majors. You start taking courses within your major the first semester. So what this means is you don't need to wait 2 or 3 years just to get into your program to start taking those courses. You start day one. The courses themselves are going to be taught by faculty only, so you're not going to have like a student teacher or a teaching assistant. And we have an 11-to-1 student to faculty ratio as well. So you get really good one-on-one personalized time with professors. Additionally, we do have an honors program available. And then if you are interested, we have service, study, and service abroad as well. Being a small university, you get a lot of upsides, and one of those is having smaller class sizes. This slide kind of indicates that. Your average class size your first year is going to be between about 15 to 25 students. You're not going to be in a lecture hall with 100 to 200 students. Everything's going to be kind of more of a classroom-based setting. Moving on to our LTU zone. When you come to Lawrence Tech, you're going to be given a laptop. That laptop comes pre-downloaded with top-of-the-line software, and that software is valued close to about $40,000. So it's really high-end software that you're going to be working with, and it's going to be specific to what major you're looking to go into. For example, in architecture and design, students can have a different computer than, say, like engineering. Same thing with business and IT and arts and sciences. It's really specific to what major you're looking to go into. Moving on to the colleges, we have 4 colleges at Lawrence Tech. We have the College of Architecture and Design, College of Arts and Sciences, the College of Business and IT, as well as the College of Engineering. Within the College of Architecture and Design, we have various programs that are available, including our direct entry 5-year master's program in architecture. You can kind of see those 2 stars indicated next to where it says architecture. That just indicates a 5-year master's program. So in 5 years, you graduate with both a bachelor's and master's degree. The architecture program itself is actually the largest in the state of Michigan as well. And over 50% of the licensed architect in the state graduated from Lawrence Tech too. We have various designs available, such as game, graphic, industrial, and transportation design. And then on the right, you can see the master's program, including interior design and social practice. Moving over to the College of Arts and Sciences, we have a wide variety of majors, things like chemistry, chemical biology, molecular and cell biology. But some of the ones I like to point out are our direct entry master's program in computer science. It actually has different concentrations, such as like game software development and scientific software development. But we also do have a nursing program available as well. It's partnered with Ascension Health, and you do your rotating clinicals at Ascension. We do also have pre-professional programs available. So if you are looking to go into some sort of dental, law, or medical school, those are available as well. Moving on to the College of Business and IT. The College of Business and IT is an AACSB accredited program. It's really stringent accreditation that only 6% of business schools have achieved. We have a list of programs that you can see listed in the lower left-hand corner, such as accounting, finance, general business, IT, and marketing. And then you can see we have an MBA program and a master's program in information technology as well. Moving over to the College of Engineering. We were originally founded as a College of Engineering back in 1932. So we've kind of been in the forefront of, leading the education of engineers since then. We have a long list of bachelor's programs available, such as like your mechanicals, civil, and robotics. but we do have more exotic ones available, things like audio engineering technology, construction engineering technology management, as well as mechanical and manufacturing engineering technology. We do have a long list of master's programs and 2 doctoral programs in civil and mechanical engineering too. Moving over to the admissions process, the admissions process is very simple. All that you'll need to do is go to our website at ltu.edu/apply. You'll submit that application. Then we will need your official high school transcripts. We are going to be test optional for fall of 2021, but we do recommend sending it in if you have taken it. So once you get everything submitted, we're going to recalculate your GPA using core classes only. The next steps after that, you're going to submit your enrollment deposit, which will secure your scholarships, allow you to apply for university housing, and also sign up for orientation and registration as well. Moving on to our total costs, the total cost is going to be between about $45,000 to $47,000. That does include housing and a meal plan, and that's based off of 30 credit hours. Additionally, we have really good scholarships that are available, and I know my time's kind of wrapping up here, but if you go to ltu.edu/scholarships, which you see in the upper right-hand corner, that's where you're going to be able to find a lot of information on all of our scholarships. So I'd like to thank all of you for your time today. Here's my contact information. I will also include it in the chat, but I do recommend visiting our website just to get a little bit more up-to-date information on all of our events.
Thanks a lot, Sean. And our last school to present is going to be Hope College.
Hello, everyone. My name is Natalie Wegg, and I'm representing Hope College in the office admissions here. We're located in Holland, Michigan, which is right on the west side of Michigan, right on Lake Michigan, which is a great place to be. I love Holland. I just graduated this past December, and I'm sticking in the area and working here in the admissions to help recruit because I love Hope so much. And so what we really pride ourselves in here at Hope is giving you a transformative experience. We hope that your time from when you enter college into when you leave, you come out a different, stronger person, more confident in who you are. And we help you in those ways through your mind, body, and spirit. So I can kind of touch on those 3 topics and what I talk about. So first of all, your mind. So obviously you're coming to college because you want to study. So academically, we want to be there to support you, whether through your peers or through your faculty. Everything that we do is there to support you and what you're passionate in learning about. So we have over 90 majors that we offer here at Hope. Everyone comes in actually undecided. Even if you think you know what you want to do, we have you come in undecided your first semester, just so that you can explore all different areas. So that goes into our belief system of being a liberal arts college, having you explore different passions that maybe you didn't know that you had. Even if you're sure that you want to study the sciences, we have you study other areas as well, just to get a little taste of everything. Outside of the classroom, we have a really strong research program. We're actually ranked really high nationally for undergraduate research. So many of our students, about 50% of our students participate in these research opportunities. And they do these during the summertime, and also it can lead into the semesters as well. And your faculty will be there to help you create the research that you're interested in, and also take you on and help you develop your skills in whatever you're interested in. We also offer over 300 study abroad programs in over 60 countries, and 50% of our students actually study abroad anytime throughout their college experience. And that's something that we really push for our students because we want them to be more globally minded. Moving on to the body, we see the body not only in the physical sense of we do D3 sports, but also in the sense of the community. We really pride ourselves in being strong in our community, whether that be the Holland community, whether that be the campus, or just interacting with your peers in general. And then we show that through our student organizations. We have over 100 student organizations that students are involved in, and you can always find something that you're passionate about or something that you're interested in. And if not, then you can create your own. One of my favorite organizations I was involved in was Hope Asian Student Perspective. And in that organization, I actually lived in Thailand for a while, so I was able to bring in my background and my experience and bring that into Hope's campus. And that was really exciting for me. And then finally, the spirit. So we are a Christian liberal arts school, as I mentioned. And so we are rooted in the Christian values, and we are there to support students in any part of their faith. If they have Catholic background, Protestant background, no faith at all, we don't judge any students. We are open arms. We open our arms to anyone who wants to come to our campus. We offer chapel 3 times a week, and we have a Sunday service as well, but it is not required. Anyone who comes to chapel, they come because they want to be there. And we always have a supportive environment through our campus ministries, whether that be through Bible study groups, small groups, Young Life. Students can seek out different ways to explore their faith in the way that they see fit. Kind of touching on admissions, we are still open to applications if you're wanting to apply for this upcoming fall. We're accepting applications until May. But if you are looking for the next year, our application opens August 1st, and we do the Common App and the application through our own website. And if you do the application through the Hope website, that is actually free. There is no application fee involved with that. And then we offer merit-based scholarships to any student who applies. Everyone will be considered for merit-based scholarships, and we also have other scholarships that you can apply to outside of that, such as if you're interested in arts or STEM, you can apply externally for those scholarships. And if you have any other questions, I'll drop my information down below. We are still doing in-person visits, so you can go to our website and schedule an in-person visit, and we're excited to greet you on campus. Thanks.
Thank you so much. All right, folks, so we are nearing the end of the presentation, so we're going to switch gears and go into a quick Q&A session. And I'd love to invite all of our representatives back so we can answer these questions live. So we're going to go in the same order. I'd love to welcome Western Michigan University again and ask you, what advice would you give someone going through college search process?
So I think it's kind of twofold. When you're going through the college search process, I feel like a lot of students sometimes get hung up on a class or a semester that was particularly challenging for them. And I just want you to know that most students have that class or that semester that was challenging. And I think it's important for you to know that as an admissions counselor, when I look at your transcript, I like to see the growth. I like to see where you were, where you are now. That growth, that journey, that's a heck of a lot more important than any one little hiccup. And so don't dwell on what happened earlier on in high school, just finish out strong. And I also think it's very important for you to go tour campuses. All of us have phenomenal institutions. We all have something uniquely awesome to offer you. And you're not going to really know what you want until you go and see what it's like to be a prospective student on campus. So sort of a two-parter, but go explore, go tour around, and we hope to see you on campus as well.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Susan. Next up, we have College for Creative Studies.
Yeah, hi. One of the bits of advice I've been giving for many, many years that I've been doing college admissions is for the students to work to find the college that's going to be the right fit for them. Asking questions, looking at, do they offer the major that you want? Think about things like location, size. Do you want a big city? Do you want a small town? Do you want a big school? Do you want a small school? But also looking beyond the college. And again, are the students doing the kind of things after graduation that you want to do? And the school that's the right fit for you might be different than your best friend or the majority of students at your high school. So it's important for you guys to think about what you want out of college and what you want to have that experience look like. Is it important that you have a study abroad program, or is it important that you go out of state or stay close to home? Those are just questions that you have to ask yourself personally. But all of those are going to factor in. And I totally agree with the visit. It absolutely is somewhere in that process. You need to visit the schools, even if it's towards the end of the process where you've kind of narrowed down your choices. Before you make that final decision, it definitely is worth it to get physically on those campuses to see if you feel comfortable. And again, it'll feel like the right fit. So I do think that is something to look for and to reach out. It shouldn't be a stressful process. Admissions counselors are here to help. So just ask questions.
Awesome. Thank you, Patty. Next up, we have Michigan Tech University.
Yeah, I'm sort of echoing the same thing, but make this process about you and what you want, but be open to changing your mind. It happens. Visit the campuses and ask all the questions of the admissions counselors. We are not scary, I promise. We don't know what you don't know, so let us know, and then you'll know. I didn't really mean to say it that way.
Thank you so much, Lauren. Next up, we have Albion College.
Yeah, so kind of combining what everyone has said, I think that this is a process that everyone around you tells to like think very logically, like make lists. And I totally agree with all of that. But I also think that you really need to pay attention to how you feel when you're interacting with people on campuses. How do you feel when you're physically there? How do the people that are helping you with this process at that institution making you feel? Because just like everyone has said, the whole goal is for you to find a college that's a great fit for you. And so you want to feel welcome. You want to feel like you're going to belong and really thrive and succeed at the school that you're at. So really pay attention to that. I don't want to say like follow your heart, because obviously there's more that goes into this than that. But I do think that's a super important component that we don't talk about enough.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Donna. Next up, we have Lawrence Tech University.
Yeah, so I feel like everyone's kind of touched on, a lot of the really good points, campus tours, visiting events, things like that. Attending admissions events is a really important thing. It's a good way to get additional information and just kind of get like the feeling and the vibe of the school. I think that's really important. I think someone else touched on that a little bit too, kind of just trusting your gut and knowing what's right. I think something else that's really important is contacting maybe like faculty mentors as well, and faculty people that can tell you a little bit more about the programs themselves too. So, pretty much what everyone said, I'm kind of echoing, but yeah, that's probably what my answer would be.
Thanks a lot, Sean. And then Hope College.
Yes, I definitely agree with what everyone has said so far. The campus visit is so important. For me, it was really important to talk to people who actually went to the school. Even if I didn't know them beforehand, having my tour guide kind of tell their story. I think the stories is really important for making that decision, because you hear something that's very personal and it's something that's touched their lives. So kind of hearing different perspectives, and then even though you're making your own decision, hearing how everyone has been impacted, I think that can be very helpful.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone, and to our panelists for sharing that sage advice during this process. I know sometimes it gets a little stressful, and it's nice to hear from the individuals that are making these decisions. Next up, this question is actually really fun, and I always love to learn something new about the colleges, so I'm sure our audience are going to appreciate it too. And we're going to go in the same order. So I'll welcome back Western Michigan University. And how about you tell us, what is your favorite event or tradition that happens on campus?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, this is really, really difficult for me. So we have a very diverse campus. We have students from over 100 countries that come to Western. So I always tell students, like, your classrooms, you feel like you're like in a globe of like you're in a classroom with a globe of citizens. Like, you'll make friends from around the world. And one event that Western puts on every year, and it's always in the spring, so it's so beautiful outside. We have International Festival. And so all of our student groups, they come in and they wear the traditional clothing from their countries. They dance the traditional dances, they cook food. It's a great way to explore and really just not only make friends from around the world, but draw on what makes us all humans and of the same tribe. And it's such a beautiful thing. I can go on and on about this. I can turn this into a lecture right now, but definitely go to International Festival, meet people from around the world. It's a good time. I love that so much.
Thank you so much, Susan. Next up is going to be College for Creative Studies. Sorry about that.
It's okay. My favorite event basically is at the end of the school year, and it's a little different now post-pandemic, but we always have an end of year huge student exhibition that showcases work from freshmen through seniors and our graduate program and our art ed students. And the real highlight of that two-week show is the student exhibition opening. It's a black tie event. It happens on a Friday night. There's music, there's food, there's people from all over the community, our faculty, art teachers from around the state, the students, their families, and they're able to actually sell their work as well, which is pretty exciting. They keep the money for that. But it's a really fun tradition. They pivoted last year and actually did a really good job of doing an online student show. It was pretty impressive, and I'm not quite sure what it's going to look like this year, but at some point we're hoping to get back to that in-person fun event. So that's something definitely to look forward to for our students.
Absolutely. Thank you, Patty. Next up, we have Michigan Tech University.
Yeah, I touched on it briefly in my presentation, but given how much snow we get in the UP, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, I mean, you can't come to Tech and not at least learn to love snow. So we celebrate it with Winter Carnival. It's a 4-day weekend every February, and the students just have a blast. And frankly, so do faculty and staff. So there's lots more to talk about, but that's probably our signature one.
Awesome. Thank you. Next up, we have Albion College.
So probably one of my favorite traditions on campus happens on commencement weekend. So all of the seniors have a horn blowing competition to decide who's going to blow the horn to like welcome in the commencement. And then whoever comes in second place is the horn holder, and the horn sits in our student center for the rest of the year. So just like a very fun culmination of commencement weekend.
Super cool. Next up is Lawrence Tech University.
So I think my favorite event that we have on campus, so here at Lawrence Tech, you can start pretty much any student organization that you want. All that you need is like 30 signatures. And a few years back, someone started a grilled cheese club, and they host a grilled cheese competition every year. And it is one of the most well-attended events that we have here on campus. There are judges and everything like that. And pretty much it's a giant competition to see who can make the best grilled cheese, and the people go crazy for it. So I'd probably say that's my favorite event.
That sounds delicious. Last but not least, we have Hope College.
Yeah, I would say my favorite tradition is called the pole. So it's actually a giant tug of war. So we have a 600-foot rope, and we have the freshmen versus the sophomores, and there's about 18 on each team. And they do tug of war for 3 hours straight, and they see which team can get the rope to the other side the most amount. And it's actually the longest running tradition for a college campus, and it's in the Guinness Book of World Records. You can look it up. So that's just something fun that we do.
Super cool. Well, folks, that brings us to the end of our presentation. And I just want to take a second to thank our panelists. Thank you so much for being here and sharing what makes your institution so special. And for our audience as well, for taking the time to find out what are the options available for you in higher education. Once you close this window, there's going to be a very quick 4-question survey, and we'd appreciate any feedback that you could offer. There is more sessions being offered, so be sure to sign up for them. And like I said at the beginning, in about a week, this session's recording, along with any other sessions recording, are going to be available at strivescan.com/Ohio. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a great evening.